All right, well, let's get started. Welcome everyone to another episode of Crypto Corner, your favorite video podcast where we discuss everything crypto related so that you can navigate safely in the cryptoverse. I've been doing this podcast since 2016 and I've been doing market analysis. I'm bringing you news and sometimes even tutorials and everything to really help you with your crypto journey. Now, yesterday I posted a video where we talked about the markets and I did technical analysis on Bitcoin, Ethereum and Cardano. Literally hours after I posted my video, all of this started pumping quite heavy, and we managed to break some key resistance levels, and that very important 50th daily moving average on Bitcoin that I was talking about. And I didn't really expect that we had the strength because we were low in volume. However, we managed to do that. Now, of course, we're going to do a pullback, and right now I'm going to go into the charts and I'm going to also have a look at what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum only today, because I don't really want to make this video too long. But as you can see, we are 4% up in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, 5.37% in Ethereum. In fact, Ethereum was around 7% a little bit earlier. Right now, because of how times change and everything, right now we are about 5% up in the last 24 hours, but just 2 hours ago this was 7%. BNB is also up 3.73%, not that much. Cardano is up 5.49%, and this is on the back of the Vasil fork, which has not yet occurred, so that is quite an important update for Cardano as well. XRP is up 5%, Solana is up 9%, but I mean Solana at $42.85 is still quite low, to be honest. I'm wanting to see Solana go to at least $60, because to me it is it's still underperforming. If we look in the last 3 months, Solana is down 55%, and pretty much everything else here in the top 10 is doing better than that. Bitcoin is down 38%, Ethereum is down 40%, BNB 30%, Cardano 35%, XRP 40%, Solana 55%. I mean, not great. Avalanche, actually, in the top 10, Avalanche is the worst performer in the last 3 months. 62% it is down, but at least in the last month, Avalanche is 26% up, while Solana is only 13% up. So definitely I want to see stronger performance from Solana and from Avalanche as well. Matic was doing really well in the last month. Matic has gained almost 80%, and Matic is one of the very few altcoins that I actually have a position in right now during this bear cycle. It looks like we are coming out of the bear cycle, but I don't really think we are really out of this bear cycle just yet. This short-term rally, I feel, is all powered by Ethereum, by the fact that it's having this big upgrade, the merge. I talked about this in a couple of episodes ago, so you can go and check it out if you don't really know much about it. I dedicated a whole episode just to Ethereum. So I feel that this is what's driving this bullish rally right now. I expect it to be a short-term rally, perhaps for another month or something, and then we're going to continue the bear cycle a little bit longer. The bear trend is not yet completely out of the woods, but you know what, let's go into the charts and revise. Okay, well, starting of course with Bitcoin again. So yes, indeed, after my video yesterday, we did find a lot of strength here, and we managed to pump above this 50th moving average, breaking above it. Now today we are already above this moving average, so now it's probably going to be a second day. By the look of it, I don't really expect us to drop suddenly or anything like that. By the look of it, we are going to manage to stay above this moving average for at least a couple of days. Now the question is, are we going to manage to stay here for at least 3 or 4 days, which will actually confirm this breakout? And as we come to retest it, because of course we will come down to test this and to see if it's going to hold as a support, this will be the very important test to actually confirm that we are finally ready to flip this trend, to turn this trend, and to come out of this bear trend. I mean, this could be a short-term rally. We've seen it in the past. I showed you yesterday. Here we did exactly that. We broke above the 50th moving average. We dropped below it, then we broke above it again. We stayed above it for a couple of weeks, but yet again we failed. The selling pressure was heavy, so we managed to drop below this 50th moving average, and this was back in April, so we continued this bear market. So the question right now is, are we going to manage to stay above this moving average and really turn the trend, or is this going to be yet another short-term rally, perhaps to this resistance point here at 27,000, 27,500? We have a strong resistance. To me, this is the most likely scenario. We're going to go up from here for, quite a few days, maybe even a couple of weeks. We will be heading towards this resistance point. We will most likely find a resistance here. We're going to get rejected. There will be a lot of selling pressure, and from that point we're going to drop again. And then the question will be, are we going to be stopped at this support level? Because right now we flipped our resistance, this diagonal resistance that I was talking about yesterday. We flipped it into a support. We haven't retested it yet, but for the moment we can assume that this is going to be our support. And if this support holds us now at the retest, the question is it going to hold us later after we get this rejection and come to retest it? This will be the real test for Bitcoin to confirm whether we are still in a bear market or have we actually turned the trend. This is the most important part. Now, looking at some of the indicators, we are having a not so bullish RSI, stochastic RSI that is. It is now getting into the overbought region, and soon I'm expecting that the red line will catch up here with the blue one as both of them go into the overbought region. As you can see, usually that's what happens here. We get into the overbought region and then we drop. Of course, we cannot stay in the overbought region for too long. Typically we break for just a few days, and 3 or 4, 5 days sometimes, and after that we drop and we do a pullback. So a pullback is coming. I personally don't think that it will be today, because it feels like the sentiment is quite strong, quite bullish. So perhaps we have at least another few days now of trending above this trend line here, but we will come to retest it. And as we come to retest it, the stochastic RSI will drop here from the overbought region. So I'm expecting this to happen towards the end of this week, maybe even into the early next week. The MACDs are also starting to look bearish. As I said even yesterday, the two lines are now quite in the high end of the spectrum here, and they're getting tight together. So as they're getting closer, at some point we can expect that they will cross. And as they are crossing here in the upper zone, that will be a bearish cross. So they will start going downwards from here, indicating a pullback as well. So MACDs and stochastic RSI are both preparing for a turn here. They are not yet ready, so we do have a few more days of this bullish price action. Perhaps tomorrow is going to be another sort of green day bullish price action, but after that I am expecting a pullback, and the weekend is when we usually have much lower volume, so a drop during the weekend is something that I would expect. Going now into the shorter time frame, this is the 4-hour chart. Here we are actually seeing a nice bullish cross on the 50th and the 9th moving averages, but this is on the 4-hour. It's actually the daily that is the more important one, and on the daily they haven't yet crossed. They're preparing for a cross, something that I'm expecting to happen early next week. For the moment they have not yet crossed. On the 4-hour, however, we have already that bullish cross that happened yesterday. So now we are still in this bullish price action. We consider the stochastic RSI and the simple RSI, both of them are in the overbought region. Simple RSI just entered the overbought region. Stochastic RSI has been in the overbought region since 2 days ago, so definitely we can expect a pullback. Pullback is imminent now. on the 4 hour, a pullback could actually happen today, but it could be a minor pullback. It is the daily that I really care about, because as you know, I really am more bothered about the longer term trades, not the shorter term. The shorter term still, I mean, not too bad. Of course, we can expect a pullback also because we are seeing this convergence in price action. We have price going upwards as volume is going downwards. So in the short term, we can expect a minor pullback. To me, that pullback will most likely be coming to this support level here at 23,000, 23,300, and then I'm expecting that we will continue to trend above this support line here. So this is in the short term. And looking now at the longer term, the weekly, not much has changed. Of course, yesterday we actually visited the weekly charts. As we know, we have a bullish cross here on the market that is about to form. It's not yet, they haven't crossed yet, but to me it looks like early next week this will become a bullish cross here, and it will indicate a longer term bullish price action, longer term bullish tendency. So this is good for us. The stochastic RSI is also still going upwards. It still has more room to go upwards before it enters the overbought region on the weekly. So the weekly is still actually looking quite good. Now let's take a look at Ethereum, and actually this is Bitcoin. All right, so this is yesterday I actually drew this and I posted it on my Twitter. If you're following me on Twitter, you probably will see this thread. I posted a thread of the charts of Bitcoin, then Ethereum versus dollar, and Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I charted all of the resistance levels for the next couple of years pretty much. First, we have all of the resistance levels that are based on our previous major levels here, support and resistance zones that we've printed in the past. And then based on Fibonacci levels that I drew, I have some targets for the future. So just briefly, I'm gonna tell you that, but you can actually find this post on my Twitter. Make sure that you bookmark it and we can revisit it after a year or so and see how accurate or not accurate I was. So first of all, we have a resistance here at 29,700 for Bitcoin. This is based on previous support levels here that was holding us. We've managed to break this support eventually. So now it is a resistance. It's our first resistance. This is where I'm expecting us to go as we start pumping harder. Then we have another resistance at 33,000. Then we have another resistance at 39,400, and this is based on this resistance here that became a support, and for a little bit of time it was actually holding as a support, but then we managed to break below this support, so it is of course a resistance. Then we have the 46,900, so that's almost 50,000, and 50,000 is also a psychological resistance, and that is also based on previous support and resistance levels. As we can see, this was our last resistance before we started this big drop here. Then we have the 52,000 resistance level, we have 59,000, 59,500 resistance level, and of course we have 64,800, which used to be an all-time high just before we printed our latest all-time high. And then we have the current all-time high, which is also a resistance, but it is not that different from the previous, 68,000, 64,000. This is in fact a range. So to me, this is all just one level here. Now, after we manage to break above all of these resistances, which will happen during the next bull cycle, I'm not expecting this to be this year. This is definitely now going into next year and maybe even the year after. We have a few target points that I have drawn here based on Fibonacci levels. My first target, 93,500. My second target, 122,000. My third target, 139, so that's almost 140,000 for Bitcoin. These are the three target zones that I have here, target levels. This is based on Fibonacci levels. I didn't leave the Fibonacci here on the chart because it just makes everything way too busy, but yeah, these are my target levels for Bitcoin. Now if you want to find out what are my target levels for Ethereum and also Ethereum versus Bitcoin, just head over to my Twitter. You will find the post in there. Now let's just quickly take a look at Ethereum versus dollar to see what can we expect, because Ethereum is actually pumping even harder than Bitcoin right now. And actually you can see these levels here. I've drawn them on this chart. I'll have to delete them so that we don't have too many lines, but you can see, so we currently have a resistance of 2000. Of course, this is also a psychological resistance, but it is also based on previous resistance level. Then we have the 2200. This is a level that used to be a support at some point, and then we flipped it, we broke it, so now it is a resistance. Then we have the 2400. It used to be a support level, it is now a resistance. Then we have the 2979, and this also used to be a support at some point. Then we broke below it, it flipped into a resistance. We briefly managed to break above it, but then we failed and we dropped below it again. So now it is one of the strongest resistance lines that we have here, because quite a few times we've challenged this now and we are failing it. So, and this is almost a 3000, so of course this is also a psychological resistance level. Then we have 3500, we have 3900, and then we have the 4500 and 4800, which is the current all-time high. These are our strong resistance levels here. The higher we go, the stronger they get. Now, based on Fibonacci levels, I have one target zone here, and I didn't really draw any further ones. We will revisit that later on, but my target is 5200. Of course, this is not going to be this year. I don't really expect us to go more than 3000 this year. I'm expecting actually that we will go to the 2000 level as we are preparing now for the merge, which will be occurring in September. So in the run-up to the September upgrade, I'm expecting that we will challenge, not only challenge the 2000, but even we will most likely break the 2000 level, and we will be challenging the upper two resistances here, 2200 and 2400. These are basically my target prices here for the next few months, next couple of months. Throughout August, I'm expecting that we will find the strength to break the 2000 level, and most likely 2200 as well. But 2400, this will be a very strong resistance. I'm not expecting us to be able to break this. In fact, even if we manage to break the 2200 resistance, which I doubt right now, I feel that this is most likely where we're gonna get stopped, but even if we break above it, we have the 50th moving average here. Of course, this will drop over time a little bit, will come to around 23. Perhaps just 2300 is where we're going to find it as we break above these levels. So this will be acting as a strong resistance here on the weekly. And if we look on the daily, let me bring out the 200 moving average. So the 200 moving average is currently sitting at 2335, or what is it, almost 2350. This is right now. It will drop a little bit over the next few weeks as we are coming upwards as well, but at this point it will come to about 2300. So yet again, on the daily, we have the 200 daily moving average that will be sitting at 2300, and on the weekly, we have the 50th weekly moving average that will be sitting again at the same price level, 2300. So this is definitely going to be where we're going to stop. At least for me, this is what I'm expecting for Ethereum, and that's even if we manage to break above the other resistances, because we have two major resistance levels here to break before we get to the 2300. So this is what we can expect from Ethereum for the coming weeks throughout August and taking us into September. Now on the way down, because of course we're not going to be going only upwards, now that we managed to have this kind of a quick pump here, three white soldiers is pretty much what these candles are, these long green candles. As we are coming down to retest support, where are we going to find support? Well, if we assume that we are going to be making a pullback from here, because of course we could actually go a little bit higher over the next couple of days, and then this will look a little bit different. But if we are to make a pullback from here, from right now, we do have a support. First support level is sitting at 1593. Then a second support level we are finding here at the 0.382 Fibonacci, which is 1489. So this is what we can expect from a pullback if we are to start a pullback right now. Now if we are to do the pullback after tomorrow, let's say if tomorrow we manage to pump to around 1900, which I doubt really, I feel that we will probably go to about 1800 or 18 and a half, something like that. Let's assume that we are going there, because I will not be able to do technical analysis over the next couple of days. I'm going on a boat and I'll be sailing and everything. So this is what it would look like if we go to about 1800 and then we make a pullback. We have a support at 1649, and then we have a second support at 1529. So this is what we can expect on the way down from Ethereum. But for the moment, we are still very bullish on Ethereum. I'm also very bullish on Ethereum. I'm expecting any pullback to be short-lived, just as it was over the last few days. We did have minor pullbacks here and here as well, and I'm expecting that if we are to make a pullback, it will also be minor. Here on the 12th hour, we're actually seeing that the 9th moving average is sitting at 1609, so this is also acting as a support. It is actually quite a decent support during a bull rally. So as you can see here, as we are going upwards, every time we make a pullback, we actually get stopped at the 9th moving average. So this is why I'm expecting that a pullback right now will probably take us to that 9th moving average, and we will find the support there, after which we will continue our bull price action. Alright, well, this is everything for today's episode, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope it helps you, and if you liked it, let me know. Leave a like and also a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions for anything that you want me to do here in the upcoming episodes. I will continue doing the market research for you, and I will be posting my technical analysis for you. Next week I will be on a ship. I will be sailing a little bit, so I'm not going to do too much technical analysis, but I will try to do at least one of those during the week, and I do have a few very interesting episodes prepared for you, already recorded, that I will be posting throughout next week, so make sure that you catch these. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description below, where I drop all the links to all the crypto services that I'm personally using and that I recommend to you. And while you're here, just pick another one of my videos.